Hi everyone, and welcome back to the show. We're here today with our Friday review. Thank you for joining me so much for this end of the week wrap up where we are going to be going through the absolute best of the week. The updates from the week, anything we have going on over at Equilibrium Nutrition. I know I've taken a few weeks off from talking about that. We'll be getting back into it this week. I've got a brand new product review. Very excited to share this one with you. It's something that I use in my office every single day now. A couple book reviews for you, a brand new style of breathing that has been one of the topics of the last week. And I'd love to bring you a separate video on that as well. That will be linked up in today's show notes at stevencabral.com/1701. stevencabral.com/1701. If you want to head over there now, that video will also be embedded on Pico Pico breathing. And then, of course, 2 research studies for you today. I'm looking forward to bringing those on, actually, the benefits of grapes, believe it or not, and blood sugar regulation, I know. And then also a second one on, what do we have here? Our second one will be on actually coffee and tea and some potential benefits on or for the liver. So without further ado, let's get right into the show. Love being able to bring you this eclectic Friday, as I call it. It's really anything goes from the week. And first things first, what I want to share with you is I've been doing a lot of work on my own breath work. And when people hear about breath work and they're not really familiar with the health industry and how all of this has to do with your health, they said, I already breathe. I don't need to learn any more about breathing, and I get it. I mean, I understand that. But hopefully you've heard now from my personal coach, Dr. Jay Wiles, on improving heart rate variability and the importance of being able to control your breath to be able to get more oxygen to the tissues of your body and also improve your overall resiliency to stress and boost your immune system. So that was super important. And then just yesterday, we had on Patrick McEwen on the conversations with Cabral. And that was episode 1700. I'm just checking here. Yes. So, I mean, yesterday's show, I do hope that you really tuned into that. He is the foremost authority on basically breath work and breathing, done so much research, so much study on it. So hopefully you checked out that. I'll update his books again on today's podcast, along with James Nestor, who's a journalist and researcher. Hopefully we'll have him on in a couple of months, his book as well. So I'll link all of those today. I'll do a quick recap in just a moment. But a lot of breath work, a lot of the importance of that I think a lot of people are simply overlooking because they say, well, I already know how to breathe, so really no big deal. But now, I mean, I've had Dr. Belisa on, I've had Dr. Jay Wiles, I've had Patrick on. So really, I'm telling you right now, it is one of those more important but overlooked methods to improving your overall health and wellness. Hopefully you've been enjoying the last 3 weeks now of the conversations with Cabral. I know we've done probably about a half dozen or so in the past, but we are back at it. Now they're all on video, and we're going to be working on really improving our YouTube channel and YouTube presence. So stay tuned for that, because I do want to improve our overall video. And just like the first, I would say 50, not 100, but the first 50 Cabral Concept podcasts, you know, I was getting into the flow of it. So the video will get better. It really will. It will continue to improve. Hopefully you're enjoying it right now. And let me know. Again, let me know on Instagram. It's the best place. Just leave a comment. Just say, hey, did you like the video? Or also leave it on YouTube, of course, right? I have to get used to telling people to head over to YouTube. We'll be cleaning up the old videos. We'll be getting those rid of those from like a decade ago, so it's not confusing. It's easy to search, and we'll be improving that. I've got a brand new team helping me with that. So that's the thing. Check it out. It's going to evolve over the next 12 weeks. Subscribe over at YouTube. You'll see a new video every single day, and it actually goes live, I believe, before the audio podcast as well. So check that out. And the last thing I want to give you on a personal note is, with all of this talk about breath work, I've talked about using the mouth tape, all of that. I've actually been doing my runs now. I go for 2 longer runs a week. Now, they're not long distance runs. I've talked about this before. I don't think running long distances is great for your health. Overall, I know it's not great for your health. It can create micro tears in the heart. It can also create massive amounts of oxidative damage over the entire body. So overall, not a great thing. But I go for basically a 5K run twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays. So that comes out to 3.1 miles. It's about 3 miles is what I'm specifically doing. And it's a good amount of running. It doesn't take me any more than, it's probably 20 something minutes to run that. And again, most people will be able to work up to maybe 30 minutes of running to do 3 miles, 10-minute miles. And it's a good amount, right? 1 to 3 miles, I think, is a good amount. And again, I can do that under 30 minutes, but I've been working up doing trail running, which is not easy. And I've been doing it with my mouth closed the entire time. So my pace slowed down a little bit, but I really feel there's a massive amount of benefit to be able to breathe the whole time in and out of my nose, really continue to calm my body. And if you've never tried it before, try it for at least part of your run. You'll have to slow down your pace in the beginning. I used to not be able to do it, and now I am, and I'm able to do it now for my whole run. The hard part, where I don't inhale through my mouth, but I'll give maybe 2 or 3 exhales, is there's one part of my trail run where for about, I would say, 300 meters or so, close to 300 yards, would be all uphill. And so although I'm breathing in through my nose, I'm shortening my stride, I exhale a couple times through my mouth, but I'm breathing in the whole time through my nose. So it's challenging, but it really helps me, someone who has a more of a difficult time getting oxygen to the tissues. It's been really, really great. So I wanted to update you on that. I'll bring more for sure, especially with my daughters, my oldest daughter especially, trying to help her more with nasal breathing rather than mouth breathing for dental-based health, as well as, again, overall immunity and bacteria in the mouth as well. You don't want to be mouth breathing. Not good for the dentine, not great for the enamel on the teeth, not good for the anaerobic bacteria in the mouth. Okay, so this week over at Equilibrium Nutrition, we are doing, I want to make sure that this is this week, and it is. It's absolutely insane offer. I talk about it at the end of the show, so I won't go too much into it. But we're giving away 2 free daily fruit and vegetable blends, a 30-day supply each for all orders over $199. Now, the team over at Equilibrium Nutrition, they really do create some pretty amazing offers, and this is worldwide. Anybody can get this in the I think it's around 30 countries we ship to, but this is a crazy offer. Giving away $100 of value for all orders over $199 is insane. It really is. This is 22 organic fruits and vegetables and superfoods that have basically been juiced, dehydrated. You just get the powder without all of the sugar. It's absolutely amazing. I always tell people, how much healthier do you think you'd be if you had 22 different fruits and vegetables every day and superfoods in a rainbow of colors? It's absolutely amazing. And the reason they're doing it, they told me, is that they want more people to try this product, meaning that they know people will love it once they use it. This is the unflavored version that we're giving away. So you can add it to anything that you want. Your AM water, your AM lemon water, apple cider vinegar, whatever you're doing, it's totally fine to add to it, whether you're on the fat velocity protocol, whether you're on the CBO protocol, whatever it might be. But we're hoping that people will give a bottle or they'll use it with their whole family, and that's the goal. So I think it's fantastic. Really, it's one of our perennial bestsellers. It's part of our daily foundational protocol. We believe everybody should be using it because even if you get some fruits and veggies every day, which is great and you should, this gives you a wide variety, a rainbow of colors. So check that out over at equilibriumnutrition.com while supplies last. All right, I'm going to just real quick bring you through the books because I have a brand new product review that I need to bring you today. It's an amazing, amazing product. A lot of my colleagues have been using it. I've held off on using it because I was using a different air filter, but now that I have a different office, I wanted another air filter. So we'll get to that in just a second. But the books, these are basically just reminders. They really are. Oxygen Advantage, Buteyko Breathing by Patrick McKeown. Okay, so great books. Mentioned them before. If you don't know about them, check them out. And then also Breathe. Is it Breath or Breathe? I have it right there. It's Breath. Breath by James Nestor as well. Yes, give credit where credit's due. Okay, it's great books. If you haven't read those, definitely check them out. Either one. Oxygen Advantage is the full book, or Breath. Great, again, both great books. Patrick's book is Oxygen Advantage. Buteyko Breathing is a very short book on basically, it says close your mouth. It teaches you how to do nasal breathing and the importance of it. It's very small if you want to read that one. I'll link it up today. Again, head on over to stephencabral.com/1701. Now, I want to just make you aware before I get to my product review of the week of Pico Pico breathing. Again, I didn't study formally Hawaiian medicine and Hawaiian-based overall health, but I've been to Hawaii many times now. I love Hawaii. I'm actually a little disappointed but I understand it. I understand about all the different travel restrictions and all that going on. But anyway, I don't want to get too deep into it. I love Hawaii. I love the culture. I respect the culture and everything there. And so they have many great modalities, and I've actually talked about Hawaiian medicine in the past. But they have they have forms of massage, which is phenomenal. If you've never heard of Lomi Lomi-based massage, it's actually these long lymphatic strokes that a massage therapist will use. And when I've been in Hawaii, I've actually gotten the authentic Lomi Lomi massages, and it's just these really relaxed. I've fallen asleep twice during those massages, and that is not typical for me. That is atypical. So, I mean, it's pretty fantastic. If you have a practitioner near you and they are trained in that, then definitely recommend the Lomi Lomi massage as well. But they have something called Piko Piko breathing, and what it is basically you're standing during these breaths. And if you can't stand, it's okay. You can be seated, again, if your strength isn't there. And what you're thinking about, though, is you're breathing in from the earth. You're breathing in from the earth. You're letting the breath focus in your belly, right, in the diaphragm. And then you're exhaling out into the world, into the universe, up into the stars and sky. And then what you're doing from there is you keep your hands elevated and you bring in the breath now from the sky and the stars. You bring it into your diaphragm. You let it swirl around, and then you exhale it down into the earth. Then you inhale from the earth, you let it swirl around in the diaphragm, and you exhale back up into the sky, and you repeat. It is really a fantastic way of kind of cleansing your mind, calming your body, and energizing your body. And if you've never done it before, never heard about this before, which most people haven't, that's why I wanted to bring it to you, I'm going to actually link up and embed a practitioner's video on this right at stephencabral.com/1701 today. So you can check it out, practice it. It doesn't need any more than 5 minutes of practice. That's it. I mean, at the maximum. You could learn it and then do it for a minute to 2 minutes at a time, and that would be about 5 to 10 breaths maximum. It'll just center you. It'll ground you. Great for those Vata body types as well. Anytime there's a little bit of anxiety, overwhelm, stress, do some Pico Pico breathing. Fantastic, right? And while you're at it, try to book a Lomi Lomi massage. All right. The review of the week that I've been waiting to bring you, and I've actually, again, these things I do put a lot of time and effort to only bringing you the best of the best, and all of these things will be available at stephencabral.com/resources, and if we ever have a discount code for you, we'll include the discount code as well. So sometimes a lot of these companies will give me a discount code for our community. And again, if it's ever there, I'll certainly link it up at today's show, which is 1701, and then also on the resources page. But I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to show it to you and show you what it's all about. And here it is. If you're watching this on video, which again, you can watch on YouTube or to the show notes page for today, it is called the Air Doctor Air Filter. Now, I know many of you have heard about this before because you've requested me to review this filter compared to some of the other air filters I've recommended in the past. So I've got the opportunity now to use this for a little bit. You'll see how thin it is. One of the nice differences with this model versus some of the other ones that I have used is the size. This is only about 2 feet tall, and this is maybe 6 inches or so wide or in depth. So you can see the filters right on top. You can see the digital screen, the digital display. And actually, one of the nice things is obviously it's not plugged in right now, but what you'll see is that it shows you the cleanliness of the air in the room, from a blue to an orange to a red, and lots of benefits to this specific type of air filter. Since it is a HEPA filter, I want to go through what it does help you filter and how it cleans the air in your home. So we'll just put that down there for a second. And what I want to share with you is that all around us, again, I've talked about this before, but about 52% of homes are contaminated with some level of mold. That's really important to remember and really think about. But it's not just mold spores that are essentially invisible all around us. There's volatile organic compounds, VOCs, that I've spoken about before. These are non-visible gases that are in the air. There's also smoke sometimes we can't see in the air. It could be from outside exhaust fumes. It could be from candles burning that are healthy, all these different things. We have dust mites. We have mold. Again, I spoke about that. We have pollen. We have pet dander. So all these things are important to look into. And a good air filter, like the Air Doctor, which is actually, again, if you just get a regular air filter, wherever it might be, the difference is the micron particles that it's able to filter. I think this will make sense because we've been talking about the virus and masks so much, but an N95 filter for your mask is basically going to filter out these tiny micron particles. A surgical mask does pretty well as well. It's 3-ply, but it allows air in through the sides and up through the nose, so it's not as great. It's about 70% or so effective, but again, it also depends on how you wear it. And then when you go to the cloth masks that are only single-ply, whatever it might be, not that effective. And then, of course, when you wear the gaiters, or the just bandanas that you pull up, those are not effective at all and actually have been proven to be worse than wearing no mask at all. You can check out my previous podcast for that. Again, it's all the research out of Duke University, really well done and very simplified. Like, listen, this is what works. This is what doesn't. There's no feeling that has to be attached to it. Nobody has to get upset. But, I mean, this is science, right? This is science at its best. So I tell people, like, who needs an air filter? Well, anybody that wants cleaner air should use an air filter. That's the truth. And the best place to use it is in the most trafficked areas of the home. But you can also switch your air filter from room to room if you're not able to purchase multiple air filters for your house. Like, your bedroom is definitely one of the best places to keep it. And then, of course, like, your living room, kitchen space is another great place. But think of it this way. A lot of people are suffering from sneezing and wheezing and allergies and itchy eyes and itchy skin and hives and nasal congestion and some irritable cough, all of the ear, nose, and throat-based things. And then they are obviously feeling a little bit of run down. If you're feeling that way, especially in your office or your home when you're in those spaces, it could be the air quality. And that's why I want you to understand is that a regular air filter is kind of like a cloth mask. It does a little bit of work, there's no doubt about it, but it doesn't get the small micron particles that something like the Air Doctor does. So the Air Doctor actually has been shown to be able to eradicate 99.99% of tested bacteria and viruses. So that's pretty impressive. It also is CADR smoke rated. It has an auto sensor letting you know when the air is not clean around you, but also when those carbon filters and HEPA filters need to be replaced. It also filters out VOCs, the volatile organic compounds. Organic makes it sound nice, but it's not. It just actually means natural from nature. But that's not necessarily a good thing either, because these things are harmful to our lungs and they get directly into our bloodstream. So just some unique filters, features here for the Air Doctor. There's a state-of-the-art ultra HEPA filter, 100 times more effective. It is a dual-action carbon gas trap and VOC filter. It is a 100% sealed system, so what goes in is not going to come back out. That's really important, especially those with fans. It has the red, orange, and blue good air quality filter, and then it also lets you know when you need to change those filters, right? When it's not becoming as effective. And the nice thing about this is I can run it in my office and it's very quiet, so I'm not going to hear it all around me. So again, why I've recommended air filters in the past, why would I recommend the Air Doctor now? Here's the reason why. This particular filter, couple $100 less than I've recommended from other ones in the past, and it's about half the size. So this is a nice one. Again, you don't have the space in your bedroom for a big air filter or your office. This one, again, 2 feet high, about 6 inches, maybe 8 inches in depth. You can basically put it in any room. My office is maybe like 500 square feet or so, and it does a great job at just cleaning up that air. So highly recommended. If there are any discounts that we can give our community, they'll be at stephencabral.com/1701. And of course, on the resources page, you can check it out. All right. Next up and last up of the day is our research. 2 great research studies to bring you. One on grapes. And here's the research. It is this is by Dr. Seymour. and this is out of the University of Michigan Health System in Ann Arbor. And it was, where was it published? Actually, it was presented at the Experimental Biology Conference in Boston. So let's see here. Metabolic syndrome is a cluster of symptoms that includes high blood pressure, high blood sugar, excess body fat around the waist, low HDL, which is the good cholesterol, and high blood triglycerides, which are all linked to inflammation. The syndrome raises the risk for heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. And what they found is this was in an animal-based study, but they found that red, green, and black grapes, those who ate them for 90 days, had significantly lower inflammation markers, especially in the liver and abdominal fat tissue. About 15 to 20 grapes per day is all that it takes. So there are all sorts of things spoken about in the past. I remember reading the grape diet many years ago. That's with dark purple or black grapes with the seeds in them, of course. But the reason why I bring you these studies is to let you know that we're talking about high blood sugar or prone to type 2 diabetes, blood pressure, high cholesterol, heart disease, etc. As people always think fruit is the enemy. You can overdo fruit if your cells are not in proper working condition and you're prone to gaining weight. There's no doubt about it. But you can also eat fruit. I recommend for most people 2 to 3 servings a day. Follow the Fatlocity system we have to how to integrate it into your diet, because you might not be able to do 3 servings right away. But you can eat some berries, you can eat some grapes, and they're going to be great for your overall health, especially with all the antioxidant power that they contain in them. And they're naturally anti-inflammatory. All right, last research study of the day. Coffee and tea are good for the liver. And this is out of what? It was published in Hepatology. It was out of University School of Medicine, Duke University School of Medicine, and that's in Durham, North Carolina. And let's see, caffeine has been found to stimulate the metabolism of lipids, fats, stored in liver cells, and decrease the fatty liver of mice. People at risk for or diagnosed with non-alcoholic fatty liver disease could benefit from drinking 1 to 4 cups of coffee or tea per day. So pretty nice, right? There's all these benefits, pros and cons. Remember that you have to know that if you're more prone to anxiety and stress and high heart rate and Vata body type, on the thinner side, that you might not want to overdo your caffeine. And I actually do I also do recommend that. But that doesn't mean some people, especially the kapha body type, that's more prone to fatty liver, more prone to diabetes, high blood pressure, all the highs, couldn't benefit from I wouldn't say 4 cups. I mean, you could definitely do some more green tea or things like that for that. But 1 to 2 cups of coffee might be doable, up to 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine per day. So hopefully all of this research was helpful. If you want to go in depth to any of these research studies, I will link them up one more time at stephencabral.com/1701 is today's show notes page. Hopefully today's show was helpful. If it was, please do feel free to share the show with anyone you believe it could serve, and be sure to tune in tomorrow for the start to our Cabral House Calls. Take care, everyone. Have an amazing weekend.